Welcome to G Fun Facts Online. What if I told you that the first robots weren't built in a sterile 20th century lab, but were forged in ancient workshops over 2,000 years ago? The ambition to create artificial life is as old as civilization itself. Long before we had silicon chips and lines of code, brilliant minds were using gears, steam, and water to build self-moving machines, or automata, that blurred the line between mechanics and magic. This is the forgotten history of ancient robotics. The story begins not with engineers, but with myths. In ancient Greece, the tales of the gods were filled with incredible artificial beings. The master craftsman of the gods, Hephaestus, was said to have a celestial workshop where he forged mechanical wonders. He created golden handmaidens with reason and speech, self-moving tripods that served feasts on Mount Olympus, and terrifying bronze bulls that breathed fire. But the most legendary of his creations was Talos. Talos was a giant automaton made of bronze, tasked with protecting the island of Crete. The stories say he would circle the island's coast 3 times a day, ready to hurl massive boulders at any invading ships. The source of his power was a single, internal vein that ran from his neck to his ankle, filled with a divine fluid called ichor. This lifeblood was sealed by a single bronze nail in his heel. While Talos was a myth, the story is fascinating because it shows the ancients were already thinking about concepts we grapple with today: artificial guardians, internal power sources, and even single-point vulnerabilities. These myths weren't just bedtime stories. They were thought experiments that sparked a crucial question: if the gods can breathe life into metal, can we? The journey from myth to metal was driven by a handful of engineering geniuses, many of whom converged in the great Hellenistic city of Alexandria, a vibrant hub of innovation. Chief among them was Hero of Alexandria, who lived around the 1st century AD. Hero was a true polymath, a mathematician and engineer who left behind detailed treatises called Pneumatica and Automata. These books are a treasure trove of designs for incredible machines powered by steam, water, and air pressure. Hero's inventions were often designed for spectacle, to inspire a sense of wonder and awe, especially in temples. Imagine walking up to a grand temple. As a priest lights a fire on the altar, the massive doors swing open on their own, as if by divine will. This was one of Hero's designs. It wasn't magic, it was ingenious engineering. The fire heated air in a chamber beneath the altar. The expanding air forced water into a bucket, which became heavy and, through a system of ropes and pulleys, pulled the doors open. He also designed statues that could pour libations of wine and milk, and perhaps, most impressively, a fully automated theatrical play. This miniature theater presented a story that lasted nearly 10 minutes, all powered by a complex system of ropes, knots, and a rotating cylindrical cogwheel. This cogwheel was, in essence, a primitive form of programmable memory, dictating the actions of the mechanical actors. Hero even described a vending machine that would dispense a measure of holy water when a coin was inserted, an ancient device for automated transactions. Centuries before Hero, another inventor named Philo of Byzantium was also experimenting with pneumatics. Around 250 BC, he designed a lifelike female automaton, a robotic maid that could mix wine and water and pour the mixture into a cup held out for it. This was achieved through a dazzlingly complex combination of springs, pipes, and vessels inside the figure, all orchestrated by air pressure and fluid dynamics. The tradition of automata didn't fade with the Romans. It was taken to extraordinary new heights during the Islamic Golden Age. The most celebrated inventor of this era was Ismail Al-Jazari, a 12th century scholar and mechanical engineer. His magnificent work, The Book of Knowledge of Ingenious Mechanical Devices, details over 100 machines, many of them automata, that were as artistic as they were complex. Al-Jazari's most famous creation is the elephant clock. This was a colossal water clock, standing several meters tall, that was a celebration of multiculturalism and mechanical genius. It featured an Indian elephant, Chinese dragons, an Egyptian phoenix, and figures in Arabian dress. Hidden inside the elephant's body was a water-filled basin. A sinking bowl inside acted as a timer. As it slowly filled with water and sank, it would pull on a series of strings and levers. This action triggered a cascade of movements every half hour. A figure would strike a cymbal, a mechanical bird would chirp, and the dragons would move. It was a spectacular public display that beautifully marked the passage of time. Al-Jazari also designed a musical band of automata that could be programmed to play different rhythms on drums and flutes, as well as an automated hand-washing device that featured a flush mechanism very similar to the one used in modern toilets. Fast forward to the Renaissance, and we find the ultimate innovator, Leonardo da Vinci. While studying classical texts, he wasn't just copying old ideas. He was inventing the future. Among his thousands of sketches are detailed plans for a mechanical knight, designed around the year 1495. This is considered one of the earliest realistic designs for a humanoid robot. The knight was designed to be powered by a system of pulleys and cables, allowing it to sit up, stand, wave its arms, and move its head within its helmet. It was an anatomical study in mechanical form, and modern reconstructions based on his drawings have proven that the mechanism was entirely feasible. Leonardo also designed a mechanical lion for the King of France, which could walk forward and then open its chest to reveal a cluster of lilies. So how did they do it? How did these ancient engineers, without electricity or modern tools, power these incredible machines? They were masters of three fundamental principles: hydraulics, pneumatics, and gearing. Hydraulics, the power of water, was central. The Greco-Roman world had sophisticated aqueducts and water systems, and engineers like Hero harnessed this power. The principle was often based on the clepsydra, or water clock. A steady, controlled flow of water could trigger a series of mechanical actions in a precise sequence, which is exactly how Al-Jazari's elephant clock operated its complex symphony of movements. Next was pneumatics, the use of air and steam. As we saw with Hero's temple doors, heating air or water in a sealed container creates pressure. This pressure can be used to push pistons, force water through tubes, and create motion. Hero even described a device called the eolapile, a simple, spinning steam turbine. It was a sphere with two bent nozzles that would spin rapidly when water inside it was boiled. This was a demonstration of steam power, centuries before the Industrial Revolution. Finally, there was the magic of clockwork and gearing. Creating complex programmable automata required intricate gear mechanisms. The most stunning example of ancient gearing technology is the Antiquity mechanism. Discovered in a Roman-era shipwreck off the coast of a Greek island in 1901, this shoebox-sized device of corroded bronze is often called the world's first analog computer. Created sometime around 150 BC, it contained over 30 intricately crafted bronze gears. By turning a hand crank, a user could predict astronomical positions, track the movements of the sun, moon, and the 5 known planets, and even predict solar and lunar eclipses with astonishing accuracy. While it wasn't a moving figure, the Antiquity mechanism proves that the Hellenistic world possessed a level of mechanical and mathematical sophistication that experts previously thought was impossible for that era. This deep knowledge of gearing was the essential ingredient for building the programmable robots of Hero and the complex clocks of Al-Jazari. For centuries, these machines were ghosts, known only through ancient texts and drawings. But in recent decades, a wave of research has begun to bring them back to life. The story of the Antiquity mechanism is the most famous example of this reverse engineering. Using advanced imaging like CT scans and 3D X-rays, scientists have been able to peer inside the corroded fragments and digitally reconstruct the entire gear train. They figured out how it modeled the irregular orbit of the moon and how it tracked a 4-year cycle for the Pan-Hellenic Games, including the Olympics. Physical reconstructions have proven its capabilities, rewriting our understanding of ancient technology. Modern engineers have also successfully rebuilt Al-Jazari's elephant clock and Leonardo's mechanical knight, following their original manuscripts. This process of experimental archaeology, trying to build replicas using only the tools and materials of the time, gives us a profound appreciation for the skill of these ancient craftsmen. But it's important to understand that these automata were never just toys for the rich. They served crucial social and cultural functions. In religion, they were tools of awe. Hero's automatic doors and libation-pouring statues were designed to create the illusion of divine presence, reinforcing the power of the gods and the authority of the priests. The line between technology and magic was intentionally blurred. They were also powerful symbols of status. An emperor or a caliph who could commission a device like Al-Jazari's clock was demonstrating not just immense wealth, but technological and intellectual superiority. They were a form of sophisticated entertainment. Imagine the delight of an ancient audience watching Hero's automated theater, a precursor to modern animatronics. And finally, they were tools for scientific inquiry. They served as physical models to demonstrate the principles of physics, and they prompted early philosophical debates about the very nature of life. They forced people to ask, what separates a living being from a very convincing machine? That is a conversation we are still having today in the world of artificial intelligence. The story of ancient automata is a powerful testament to a timeless human dream, the dream of creating artificial life. From the myths of Talos to the mechanical wonders of Hero, Al-Jazari, and Leonardo, these inventors were the true pioneers of robotics. They mastered the forces of nature, water, air, and gravity, and used gears and levers to lay the foundation for the technological world we live in today. The echoes of their work can be seen in the clockwork of a fine watch, the animatronics at a theme park, and the robots exploring Mars. They remind us that the quest to build machines that mimic life, to turn myth into reality, is a journey that began not in our lifetime, but thousands of years ago. And it's a journey that is still shaping our future.